We wasn't hungry, but we didn't have much either. It had a big old drought, you know, no rain.
Yeah.
We lived on a farm, raised crops. That's the only way we could make a living. And if you couldn't, and they had no irrigation back in them days, you know, not where we at.
Yeah.
Where I was down at the Mountain View, got north of town, about 4 miles. That's where we lived. And lived there for a long time, man. I mean, just dry as bones, no rain, no nothing.
They took a biopsy, sent her home.
It was bad, very bad. We just didn't expect anything because there wasn't anything we could do about it.
Mom told me about you telling her that.
Huh?
Mom told me about you telling her that when you were little that you would eat chicken a lot, and to this day that you won't eat chicken.
That was what?
That you won't eat chicken because you had to eat it so often during the Depression when you were real little.
Oh yeah, yeah. During the Depression, there wasn't. You couldn't raise a crop. There's no rain. You know, dry.
Yeah.
And the only thing, if we lived on a farm, if you didn't raise a crop, you didn't have nothing to sell. You're in bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we had was cattle, milk cows. If it hadn't been for that, I guess we wouldn't have made it. But we'd milk them cows and sell the cream. You know, had separators, separate the milk,
Yeah.
cream from the milk. You know what it is. But anyway, that's the only thing we had, and that wasn't much. You know, we're poor, very poor. And we just wasn't anything we could do about it. It was just that way, you know. And back in those days, I know if you've done anything, studied any history, they used to have in western Oklahoma where we lived down there at Mountain View, north of Mountain View, and that was part of it. But they had these big dust storms, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it blow that.
Yeah. The last thing we went over before break.
Huh?
The last thing we went over before break in history class was the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And the Dust Bowl.
That's in the late. Well, that's what I was talking about was in 1946.
Yeah.
You know, but before that, that's when they really had the big depression.
Yeah.
And I mean, there'd be big dust storms move in, you couldn't see nothing. I mean, just clouds of it. You might have seen some of it on television sometime. And my mother would. Of course, we didn't have no air conditioning. Nobody knew what air conditioning was even.
Mm-hmm.
You're poor. You didn't have nothing but wind. If you didn't have the wind, you could just had to suffer, you know. But anyway, you had this storm door. I mean, the screen door that, you know, that when that dust would move in, going south, moving from the north, and we was facing the north. Where we lived there, and the old screen doors, you've seen them. That's the only thing you had back in those days. The screen doors was the only way to get a little cool air in your house, you know, and the windows, you raise the windows and stuff. But anyway, on that screen door, the dust was about that deep, just collected on there, you know, just about like that.
Deep.
About an inch. And my mother would hang up, she'd wet or you know, like blankets or something.
Yeah.
Hang up over that door, and that dust would just get wet and it'd just hang onto that screen door about like that, about an inch.
Now, I've heard
You couldn't even see out of it.
I've heard stories where like barbed wire from the friction of the dust would like glow because it got so hot.
Oh yeah, yeah. The temperature was way up there. Well, see, even the cattle couldn't do any good either. We had an awful time trying to survive. You know, things like that'll teach you a lesson you won't forget. You know what I mean?
And y'all had to be tough.
A lot of people don't know what trouble is. They just think they do. You know?
Well, especially in today's times.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Y'all
that's the way
actually
it
had to
was,
beat
huh?
stuff. Y'all had to beat stuff, not
Had to what?
y'all had to beat stuff, not run away from it.
Yeah.
And it takes a tough person to do that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't easy. It was tough. It grew up tough, you know. And, I mean, we didn't have no money. We didn't have nothing. Whatever we sometimes, have you ever heard of commodities?
Yes.
That's just about all we could get, and the state furnished that for us, you know.
Yeah.
That's all we had to eat. We didn't have money to buy anything with, and the cattle wouldn't, you know, even the milk cows wouldn't do any good because they couldn't get anything to eat, you know.
Yeah.
No, you know, they have to have grass. You know, if you don't have any feed, they gotta have something to eat.
So what did you have to do to get them food?
Yeah, and so,
So how did you
you know,
feed
you
the
don't
cattle?
forget things like that, Skylar, you know.
I know.
It stays with you all your life. But, you know, we survived it, sure wasn't easy. But it teach you, things like that will teach you lessons. You know, let you know that you're not in charge of anything, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. We
Huh?
on Dad's side of the family, that was kind of proven today. We had a relative die today. It's her birthday. She had a tumor in her brain. That kind of proves that, you know, we're not in control of life or death.
22 and I had
But
Well, I guarantee you that we're just glad to see that depression end.
Yeah.
The only thing you could get, the government, people like us, the government would give you what they call commodities,
yeah,
you know.
when FDR began
That's where that all the food you can get hold of is what they give you. I mean, you don't have money to buy any. And we had to, and being as dry as it was, you couldn't even work to make any money, you know.
So I got a question.
Huh?
When you were little, did your family sit around and listen to the radio and listen to FDR with the fireside chats, as he called them?
Yeah, the only thing we do, because when we could, we'd sit out in the yard without rats.
Mm.
And we did have a cellar if we ever got trouble, we had storms or something, you know, an old dirt cellar. I don't know whether you've seen them or not.
Well, I've seen it, yeah.
But,
It's almost like a
they're
dugout.
not the best thing you ever seen, but they will protect you if you had a tornado.
Uh-huh.
And they had big, what they call whirlwinds, dust whirlwinds,
Mm-hmm.
and that blowed pretty hard. We sure was glad to get the end of change. Or what it was, the trouble of it was, the reason why it was that way is because the people would, all they did, they plowed up everything, and anything green, they cut it down, like trees and stuff like that.
And the prairie grass that had
It's just like a desert, you know?
and then the cattle come in and the prairie grass gets ate up, and
Yeah.
it just leads to one thing
I
or
don't know whether
another.
you've been down that way or not, but they have what they call big tree rows.
Yeah.
Well, what they did, what the government did, they planted those trees as a windbreak, you
Yeah.
know, for dust and stuff like that.
Oh, we still see them down there. You know, the
Slow it
80
down, you know.
the 80-year-old trees that are still down there to this
Well,
day.
it just sift right through, you know, just come right out and get that deep, dust stuff on the ground. Boy, that's tough.
man was with her.
Couldn't raise nothing, you know, if we didn't raise anything to eat, we didn't have it. We didn't have money to buy it with, you know.
So,
A lot of people don't have any idea what trouble is, you know, absolutely don't know. They just think they do.
so do you
It
remember?
makes you a lot more cautious if you live like that when you're young. You're a lot more cautious about what you do,
So far, he's not.
you know what I mean?
I know. The way I'm trying to
Huh?
get my life started is to where I don't have to be reliant on anyone where if something like the Great Depression happens again, that I'll be able to
Yeah, well, it ain't
still
gonna,
sustain
for
myself.
one thing, it's probably never happen again because of the fact that they've got what they call a different way of farming.
No, I'm just meaning like the.
terracing. You remember you see them terraces out in fields,
Yeah, I'm meaning the economics of the Depression.
and that would helps keep it from blowing, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And the reason why it blows so hard because it's so dry, you know.
Yeah.
And so finally they got through that,
Steps.
and in in the late 30s and the 40s, start coming back again, you know, like normal stuff. And a lot of people didn't have any idea
Clay.
what problems could be, you know, in those days.